What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I did a video on these synthetic peers. Like, it's been at least a week. It's been a couple days, but I still look at them. I still do trade them from time to time. It's just that the timing is kind of off for me with work and everything. I'm not able to consistently catch the best entry opportunities, but there are still pretty much viable trades on these pairs every day. It's just that they don't move by time, and they just move based off like structure, supply and demand, and like liquidity, all of that stuff. But there's no fundamental driver behind them. Also, um, the way how predictable FX or indices are, it's easier for me to catch a trade at a particular time. Whereas with these, you just have to wait on a specific zone or thing to be hit in order to generally get a trade. So I do apologize for not putting out any videos, but I'll try to make up for it. So today, what I'm currently seeing is I actually took a trade today on this, I must say. I took a trade, and it would have been successful if I had held the trade to fruition. I kind of went break even a little bit too early, and I got stopped out. I've been up from like 2 a.m. this morning, and there was an entry opportunity right inside of here, and I got in all the way in this candle, and I let this one come back and stop me up break even before we did all of this. So we came back down. I got some scalps inside of here after even the cells. I caught the cells from here to somewhere around here, and then I was off the chart because I have to be preparing for the week, and it's a weekend washing and all of that stuff, so I didn't get to get in back on a next entry because I know this thing could buy long term back up. So let me actually start on the higher time frame for this one. So see, we actually came down. So we've been selling for a while. The last couple of days that I didn't do any video, we've been just selling all the way down, selling until around here. So we hit this level down here. It's I think it's a daily demand level here. Yeah, man, I think it's a daily demand level we have down here. We ran the liquidity below this low, and we tapped into this order block here. Let me shift this to the left a bit. So we ran this liquidity right here, right there, and then we tapped into this order block that we've been bouncing from. The last time we bounced from here was around March, and I think we could retrace at least back to 50% of this leg if you're using this one, which should be right around here, or if you're using this all of this leg, then we could actually get back to here, which would take a couple of days, or at least probably by the end of this month if we get some good pushes. These things tend to consolidate a lot, but yeah, like, it's been crazy how these things can actually consolidate, and sometimes when they're ready they just move off and pretty much leave without you. So I'm thinking we could get back up to here. I was trying to secure an entry, but you know kind of messed it up because the ideal entry would have been here, and I didn't get in down there because you have to be watching these things constantly, and I'm not always on the computer. and I don't always leave it on. That's the main issue with this thing. So when I'm looking at this right now, I'm thinking we could go back up, as I say. So we sold off to quote liquidity and see this new week just opened today, and today's daily candle we manipulated down a bit and then we went back up. So on the 4 hour time frame, this is what we look like currently. Trying to get back up here. My entry, if I turn on the trade, it would have been here. So see, I don't know why I let myself get stopped out on this trade. Like, I just didn't want to risk too much, but it would have been a beautiful trade had I not moved the stops to break even so early. I would have been in at least to a bit up here, but it wasn't the best of timing, because ideally the entry would have been down here and catching all this move, but I was hesitant because on this time frame I saw this order block and see we sold from it. I caught part of the sell and then we came back down and see we're buying up from it now. So I don't know if we're going close above it, but this is like the last structure leg here, even though it's a bit of a sideways movement before we came down. Yeah, but this would have been a nice swing trade to run back up into here. On the 1 hour time frame, turn on the trade history. See, it's better defined here. We have got the entry from this zone, so we came down into the breaker right around here, not fully touching it, but there was a zone on the lower time frame here that I saw. I think it was on the 15-minute, which I'm going to point out here, and then we came all the way up. A friend of mine actually caught it. I didn't even know he was in the trade, but he caught it all the way up to around here before it started to range, and he just exit. But see, we're going all the way up now. So ideally this would have been a better entry opportunity after we came down and retest it, but see, we get a breaker structure, another break, so maybe we could break out and then come back down. But the way how these pairs move, once they break out of the consolidating, the accumulation, they don't normally give us many opportunities to re-enter after. So see, this is some type of white calf or whatever, head and shoulder pattern, whatever you want to call it. I don't really use those, but that's the accumulation phase, and I think we could actually break out to the upside. So that is what I'm seeing right there. Let me go down to the 15-minute time frame. This is the 15-minute time frame. See, this is what it looks like, and see where I actually got in on the tip. Like, it's crazy. I got in on the tip of this wick down here after we manipulated, and then now it came back, and like I wasn't expecting this type of pullback right here, and it came back and stopped me on, because I got this candle, I saw this come down, come back up, come down. I thought, okay, this is enough, and it just stopped me out before doing all of this. And I actually could have re-entered. I could have re-entered in this candle, but I didn't. Like, I was just frustrated at that point in time, so I didn't re-enter. I could have found entries in these areas, but I just decided to watch it. When it came up here, we had a zone here that was to the left of us, and I caught the sales coming down here before I exited. And this candle, had I held it, I would have made some more money catching these, but I'm building up the account, as I say. So when it's at a level, then I will start like risking more on some of these trades, and when they actually break out to the upside, or when they actually break out, not whether buy or sell, then I will be able to capitalize some more on some of these. But see, right around here, I could have gotten an entry as well. And then when we came down for the buys, perfectly touching here. This was a nice entry here or any one of these levels I could have gotten in here or here. So, like if you know what to look for, if you know the entry techniques, whether you want to use an inversion or whatever, you can get some nice sniper entries in these zones to being price back up. But if you're not watching the charts, if you're not on the charts, it's not so easy to get in because I don't really do the drawdown. It's either snipe or nothing. Because see, this one is a beautiful snipe. My stops were like actually below, right around here, and I don't know why I moved them so quick. I should at least wait for it to break out above these highs before before taking off the trade, before taking them to break even. But nevertheless, next time I'll do better. I am mainly focusing on the the passing of the challenge for forex. So I haven't been paying much attention to these peers. So I guess that is the reason why. But nevertheless, there are some beautiful opportunities in these peers, I must admit. Especially on the weekend when there's not much going on, like you can catch some nice trades. See, these are some nice trades. Nice entry there to right price all the way up. And this is just lovely. The way you can catch some decent trades on these pairs. Alright, so that is that. Let me go back to trading view. So see what we look like. As I say, there are some beautiful entry opportunities. If you know what to look for, you can get some nice entries there. This was my entry this morning. I should have just held, but nevertheless, like price has been like going pretty decent. We have some consolidation some of the time, but it's been pretty decent. I won't even go back over the price action from all the way over here. There were entries in all of these areas to come down, but I'm just going to focus on the most recent price action, which would have been here. This is where we had the flow switch, so we had a breaker structure here. This is where we had, what do you want to call it? Well, this would be a change of character. We had the first one here, and see we came down, tested this zone right here, and that was what gave me the entry for the buys. Somewhere inside of here we got a nice entry, as you can see on the indicator on MT5. So the nice entry was inside of here. I should have just left the stops below there, but you know, it is what it is. So we got that beautiful entry today. Like today was a small range there. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's the beginning of the week. It didn't really move much, but that is actually, there is also like these trades are just lovely. Just lovely. So one entry there, one entry there. There's also this entry, and these, trust me, if you're holding, these could go for quite some time if we go and break out to the upside. Like I have some targets all the way up, as I was saying, so we could get all the way up to the top right there. So let me go now to volatility 50. Well, this is volatility 50, so let me go to volatility 25 1S is 50. So this is 25 1S. We have a chart missing. Need a 1 hour chart right there. So see we actually going back up on this one. Just the same. Alright, so let's get right into this one. So we've been going up, 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 up. We finally broke out of this consolidation. This range here finally broke above here after testing it for several weeks. Here, here, and here. Finally broke through it. That was expected because we got a decent liquidity sweep down here. Took out this low right around here and see consolidated a bit, finally came down and see we're going back up now. Now this pair is almost back at all-time highs. This pair is almost back at all-time highs. So all of last week we just bought right up to there and see the new week open. We didn't even manipulate much. I think maybe we hit this small body candle will be tested. I think maybe we run back down here before we continue up if we're going to continue. But what I'm currently seeing is that we are at this last leg of structure before we actually create some new all-time highs on this pair. So if I switch to the weekly time frame, see, is the first time we actually making it all the way up to this part here. So if we actually break out to the upside, like this could actually run for a couple of weeks before we decide to turn back down. So I did take some trades on this pair as well. Did take some trades. Alright, so that is the daily time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, I took a sell from this level right here. Sold it, think somewhere in here I got a few trades. Some short scalps. But see we're breaking back to the upside, respecting this 4 hour fair value gap, and we curling back up now. So that is that right there. Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. So see, it was a bit of a range bound today before we went up. So this is where I took some trades. I think I took, this was yesterday, I think I took a sell somewhere around here, and then I took some sells and some buys inside of here. I took some scalps, some small scalps on the lower time frame, because that's the thing. That's why I say if you're not on the charts and you miss the initial moves on these pairs, sometimes there's no way to get in. Cause I took some scalp. I think I took a buy somewhere around here. I exit here before it came down to retest the zone, and then so we took off back to the upside right there. So I am the one that actually got out of this because I thought it would have continued up, but it came back down, and that is the reason why I am not in this trade. So it came all the way down, and I thought we would have sold off back down a little bit more, but that didn't happen. See, we're curling back up, so I don't know if we're going for a second test or if we're going to break through this zone, but let us see what's going on. Let me go to this time frame. So see, wow, these are some beautiful entries. So on the 15-minute time frame, this was a nice entry here. I wasn't on the chart around this time. This is around 7 p.m. I just ran up all the way up to the top there. This was where I got in for a buy, some scalp buys. I took a buy, scalp buy there, another scalp here, and literally zero drawdown. But I wanted to catch the sell coming down, but I got up by the time. I had to get up from around the chart by the time price could retrace back up to here. So I missed the sell opportunity bringing us to here, and I missed the buy opportunity from this little zone right here. So that's the key thing. Like, if, as I say, if you're not on the charts and the way all these things are leveraged, like if you're not getting some sniper entries, you're going to go down in a lot of drawdown and you're going to blow the accounts. So you have to know how to enter and how to risk on these things, because you could go into a lot of drawdown, especially if you're using like high lot size. So I've been trying to get magic keys to work on this thing, which is the risk management tool that I use to trade on Forex. Like, it literally caps the risk at a particular amount, so you don't essentially blow the account. But I'm unsuccessful so far, but I haven't given up. If I'm able to use this, then I could literally set the risk to a particular amount and catch some decent trades with a fixed risk on this pair. But I'm not giving up on them. So this is what we're currently doing right there. But this was a nice little buy here. Like, most of the times when I get into these trades, I'm either getting in after it already break out, or I getting in some type of consolidation where the market isn't like pushing off instantly, and then I come back and I see it go right in the direction that I'm expecting. And as I said, there's no time component to this really, except for like on the higher time frame. Like, once it hit the zone, like most times if you have a trendy, this was the ideal entry. We went up 7 p.m. open here. This candle had no manipulation on the daily time frame, no manipulation. So you would have gotten in here, price came back down to retest here. This was a beautiful entry as well, risking just below the zone, and you could have caught this for the entirety of the day. But see, once you miss the 7 p.m. entry on this chart, like, there's hardly anywhere to get in if you're not a skilled trader, if you're not watching. So yeah, you could have gotten an entry there or there using certain type of entry techniques, or even here using the fair value gaps and so, but it's not that easy to risk. But that's what took place. So see, we came all the way up into the order block there and we sold off. I actually missed the sale too, because I wasn't on the chart. I got on around here, came back up to here, and see, we did this, and now we're going right back up. So on the higher time frame, you can clearly see that price is going up. So I am expecting us to continue and see if we go and break through that higher time frame order block, or supply zone rather, whichever one is it. So that is what I'm thinking. Either we go and break through, or we go and reverse. But regardless, there are some nice entry opportunities that you can capitalize on these pairs. So that is what I'm thinking going into this week. I'll see if I can actually catch any of these. Like I said, like, if I'm not on the charts, it's not so easy for me to participate in some of these trades. But nevertheless, whatever you catch, you catch. Until I'm full time, then I can just take what I can and leave the rest. But that is pretty much it. Let me go back to trading view. I don't think I even load up a chart for, try to load up a chart for V25s. But it's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. That I could show you the entries going up. But essentially, like when these pairs are trending, it was the last time I look at it, that was from the 6th of October. But see, if you actually on the charts and tracking these daily and you get some entries, like you could have gotten an entry there and you would have been in this trade from, this was a what, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, you could have been in this, or Friday, going all the way up when it's trending. So that is the beauty of these pair, and they are not affected by any news or any fundamental drivers. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.